Thank you, joyful noise. Sharing. Sharing. And it's a great. I called the talk today Million Dreams based on that they were going to do this song. And I thought, yeah, we all have a million dreams, don't we? At least. At least a million dreams. And vision of what we'd like to see and what we'd like to think and feel. So I looked up dream in the revealing word. It says dream. Contemplate the possibility. Oh, no, this is the dictionary, sorry. Contemplate the possibility of doing something or that something might be the case. I love that the example they give is, I wouldn't dream of foisting myself on you. Not I dream of abundant good, but I wouldn't dream of foisting myself upon you. But Fillmore said to think, consider, contemplate. So I looked up metaphysical meaning of contemplation. And it says, a form of meditation, a thought of becoming a child of God. Now, it's a funny thing that it would say a thought of becoming a child of God, since we can't not be a child of God. We are already a child of God, the offspring of divine thought, of divine mind. Not divine decision, but of divine mind. We are the offspring that has taken this form. Don't ask me to explain it, because I can't. I have no idea. But I thought about the dream part, and to consider our dreams and to realize that we often dream without thinking of what it would take to see our dreams manifested. Do you? No, you should know this, most of you, because I've said it so many times. In order to live an abundant life, you will have to give up your lack. It's very costly to live an abundant life because it will cost you your lack. To live in love will cost you your resentments. To live in peace will cost you your war. It will cost you your hatred. It will cost you your belief that they are bad and I am good. Or at the very least, they are wrong and I am right. It's very costly to live an abundantly peaceful, joyous life. I love what David has often used the example. Do you want to be a movie star? Well, yes, I do. Fine. Next Christmas, you are going to be shooting on the North Pole. Is that okay? Because that might be what it entails for you to become a movie star. For you to live in all of the good that you imagine. Everything unlike it might have to appear for a bit of time. Mm-hmm. That's okay, you can agree. It's the disagreement I have the problem with. We dream of stuff, and sometimes our dreams are nightmares. But we dream of a lovely life, a peaceful life. And if you would just be different, I could do that. Oh, if my past hadn't happened, I could be happy. If I hadn't done the things I've done, I could be happy today. If my mother or my father or my grandparents or that stupid Adam and Eve hadn't done the things they had done, I could be happy today. That's the kind of crazy thinking that goes on in our minds. And sometimes our dreams, we dream, oh, this is how it would look if that hadn't happened. And I encourage us all to say, this is how it could look because all of that happened. My life could be fantastic because of my past. I can't keep repeating a lot of my past stuff if I want it to look like what I am, what I dream it could look like. But if I use all that, if I contemplate my sonship, as it were, my childship, if you don't want to go to gender, my childship, if I contemplate, what would it be like if I accepted myself as a beloved child of God? That's the teachings of Jesus. That's the heart and soul of the Jesus teachings, is to contemplate yourself, that you can take everything you have and turn it into abundance. That you could alchemize. Who here has read The Alchemist? It's a great book. It's a fast, easy book. I really recommend you get it and read it. And I always like, later on at the next board meeting, the board will say, we should get that book in before you talk about it. And I'll say, that would be easy, except it just came into my head to talk about it. But to look at your life and say, oh, how could I transform perhaps a painful childhood, perhaps a painful teen years, perhaps a painful relationship, or half dozen painful relationships? How could I transform drug addiction, alcoholism, cigarette addiction, food addiction, sex addiction, whatever addiction you want to choose, except for shopping? We're going to keep that one aside, and we're just going to call that good just as it is. Hey, America. But to transform anything that you thought of as quote-unquote bad, but it wasn't bad. It was just a distraction from the realization that you are good, that I am good, that we are good. That's all that it is that stuff. It has been a distraction. That doesn't mean for many of us that we could go back to you. Oh, now I know it was just a distraction. Well, I won't use it as a distraction anymore. No, most of us cannot get away with that. We can't go back with the habitual life of chemicals and what have you and think that, now that it's not a distraction, I can live a healthy, abundant life. It's like, no, you won't. You're not going to help anybody. Those of you who have issues with these things are not going to help anybody by continuing to use them, one would think. Granted, if you continue to use these things, it can go to certain levels. Perhaps you will die and just be out of everybody's way. Everybody will be sad, and then what do we do? Or perhaps you will have a harder bottom and you will have a greater awakening. But here's my thought. Wake up now. Wake up now. If you had a dream, you must think it's possible. You must think it's possible right now. Do not delay your joy a moment longer. Do not delay your peace a moment longer. Do not delay your self-love a moment longer. Don't delay it. So if we're not going to delay it, I would like you right now to take the pen and the small piece of paper that was on your chair when you came out. The small piece of paper. You can see there are two sizes of paper. It's shocking to me. I have to explain this. But I know from experience. Take the small piece of paper, and here's what I wrote on mine. At the top, I wrote, I am grateful for, but not limited to. And then I made a gratitude list. And that's what I encourage you to do now. I am grateful for, but not limited to. So make your list. And when you are finished, I invite you to follow me down the steps. And we're going to burn this piece of paper, your gratitude list. Because we're going to put the smoke of your gratitude out into the universe. We're going to let the whole ethers fill up with our gratitude. So once you've written it, give thanks, and then come on downstairs.
One
And we're back. Now I'd like you to look at the large sheet of paper, your pen, and the envelope. You don't need the envelope for a moment. We all together here? Take a breath. Take a breath, everybody. Join me, please. Let's give thanks now for the gratitude that we have just expressed, that we have been willing to send out into the universe from within us. And now we give thanks for the next part of our journey this morning. We give thanks knowing in advance that it is good and it will only lead to more good. So knowing that, we prepare the way. So it is, and amen. So first on your sheet is the date 12/1/2019. 12/1, December 1st, 2019. You're writing it for 11 months-ish from now. You're writing it as if it is December 1st, 2019. You with me? Yes. Okay. What this letter is, and now you write dear and your first name. You're writing this to yourself from yourself. Now, what I wrote it as is a letter of gratitude for what I'm certain has taken place today, December 1st, 2019. It's what's taken place between January 6th, 2019 and what I see. So in the past, many people write ahead and they write all this big wish list. This is not a wish list. This is not what you're hoping will happen. You're writing what you've witnessed 11 months from now. I already did mine this morning. And as I wrote, I realized there are many things I wish to see. There's a lot of stuff I want to say. But I had to look at what do I believe I could experience if we're December 1st, 2019. What do I believe I could have experienced during this year? Because a lot of times people come to me disappointed. Oh, I got my letter. None of it happened. Well, you writing it down doesn't make it happen. You writing it down shows what you believe has happened in this past year of 2019. So you got to look at stuff. And so what I came to discover is there's many things I want to experience. Why? Because I think they will make me feel a certain way. I believe they will make me think a certain way. So I let go of specifics, like a new car, stuff like that. New relationship, no, none of that. I wrote down how I believe I feel on December 1st, 2019, as a result of certain things taking place. I give thanks that I experienced peace because of this taking place. But you see, I didn't get peace from the car or whatever. I got peace because I was willing to be peaceful. And so I realize it's peace that I want to experience. It's joy that I want to experience. It's love that I want to experience more than the stuff. The stuff isn't going to give it to me. And so I invite you, as you write your letter, however you choose to write it as you are guided by Spirit, to keep in mind this is not a wish list. I hope I get this by next year. When you're writing the letter, it's already next year. It's a mystical process. And so let's go ahead and go. When you're done, put it in your envelope, seal it, and address it to yourself. And then I will take it and pray over it for the next year, and I will send it out to you next December.